Yeah, we will start our session. Otherwise, it's already, we are about half an hour late. Very good morning to all of you present over here. And we have a session today in virtual and augmented reality. How many of you have heard of this term of virtual and augmented reality? If you can interact with me, at least make it more meaningful before we do anything else in this session. Anybody? Has anybody heard of this term virtual and augmented reality? Anybody, can you please, can one of you at least speak up, please? Okay, fine. The session today has been scheduled on this topic, virtual and augmented reality. What I feel, before you start the session, you have to understand who is the person who is speaking to you. I am Dr. Suresh Kumar. I have done my master's and doctorate in computer science with specialization in data science from BITS Pilani. I'm a professional data scientist with slightly over 26 years of work experience. I have done 12 R&D projects as on today and currently doing my 13th R&D project, all of them for the government of India, with the smallest R&D project being around 3,500 crores. And I have 5 published patents on my name. I have written 2 books in data science. I am currently involved in training people at IBM Bangalore, Bosch, Accenture, Indian Army, Exide, Government of India. I am even with Government of Republic of Congo and Government of Oman. There are many other customers of mine whom I'm currently involved in training, all of them in full stack data science, not data science, in full stack data science. And currently I'm working as the Chief Technical Officer with Pivis Analytica Private Limited Bangalore, Business Intelligence Analytics Private Limited Bangalore. I'm the adjunct faculty with Presidency University Bangalore and Marwadi University Gujarat. As well, I have just commenced my inning as adjunct faculty with the only DRDO Educational Institute in whole of India, which is DIAT Pune, Defense Institute of Armament Technology Pune, or Defense Institute of Advanced Technology Pune. I am with them for conducting course all in data science, because even I don't understand anything other than data science. Okay, this should be a very brief description about myself. And anybody interested at the end of the session want to know more on this wonderful topic, in any case, for the last about 8 to 10 years, data science professionals are the highest paid professionals in the world. I have been traveling people all around the world. Recently, I had conducted a session for 3 days at Sharjah. I've conducted a 2-week session at Bangladesh. I travel around the world and conduct these sessions. Okay, that should be, I feel, more than enough about me, since I've even put my pic over here for you. Today's session we will be covering, since it is focused purely on AR and VR, we will first understand what is augmented reality and what is virtual reality. Then we will see how will the education industry benefit with this. We will see, since all of us love free softwares, we will see some free AR and VR software, see some use cases in augmented reality and couple of use cases in virtual reality. We will also, before we sign off, we will see the impact of augmented reality and virtual reality on the society. And during our course of interaction with you guys, I'll request you, anybody has any kind of a doubt, you can stop me whenever you want. Please do not wait for the session to get over for you to stop me. Don't worry. You can stop me anytime. Consider me as a friend of yours. Stop me whenever. No formality, nothing. Absolutely no formality. Okay, the difference, before we start off, let's basically understand what is the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality, which is, as I mentioned, the first slide topic of mine. See, augmented reality is something that adds digital elements to a live view, often by using maybe a camera on a smartphone. Examples of augmented reality include Snapchat lenses and the game Pokemon Go. The other concept, that is virtual reality, is something that implies a complete immersion experience that shuts out the physical world. So this is the broad difference between augmented and virtual reality. Now, see, whether you admit it or not, education is one of the foundational elements of our society. And as such, it is all about sharing and expanding knowledge in the most efficient way, not necessarily traditional school, college, university, that path. I presume you must be aware that by end of 2020, these degrees, these formal degrees which you obtain in any college in India, is practically going to be of absolutely no use, because the jobs are only going to be based on purely skill set. Unless otherwise you got skill, you're not required anywhere in the industry. Nowhere, nobody wants you in the industry. So what we need to do, we need to augment our skills, maybe in AR, VR, maybe in data science, maybe in AI, ML, deep learning, any of these wonderful concepts, if you really want to make up a career. Now, I would say that while education is treated with utmost seriousness, it is not without its issues, namely the limited availability of educational services and lack of the only yardstick, that is the trained personnel. Besides this, there is a huge problem with people who have limited physical abilities or who live in places that are hard to reach. Due to all these reasons, implementing AR VR technology into the educational system is of immense value. We would see how is it that AR VR fits into the educational system, the current educational system. The easiest way to describe the potential impact implementation of VR and AR can make in the education system is to condense it in just 4 words. That is harder, better, faster, and stronger. The educational system needs new technologies in order to stay relevant in the ever-changing world and be effective at realizing its mission. Augmented and virtual reality is the next logical step in the evolution of the education system. From a business standpoint, virtual reality and augmented reality solutions for education have easily applicable business models, which is always a great selling point. On one hand, there is no need for figuring out the sustainable business model that will turn into profit in short term. This is completely out of question because education is a public service and things are regulated rather differently over here. Since figuring out the business model is one of the major problems with augmented reality and especially virtual reality industries, taking it out of equation leaves much more time to figure out the possible content. However, that's where the stakes get extremely high. There is a lot of responsibility to be assumed in terms of developing a quality augmented reality or virtual reality education content that will effectively serve its cause. Making educational content is much longer and it's a much more intricate process that requires tight collaboration and flexibility, especially when you deal with kids. Not only there is a need to create accurate content, but it also must be appropriate to a target audience. It takes more than composing a fine recreation of a body function to make an immersive virtual reality education process. Students and their abilities must be taken into consideration and the content must be adapted to when AR and VR technology meets education. Please understand it has the potential to be a win-win situation. The main challenge in the development of custom VR application is that um, you have to create many of the elements from right from scratch. However, it is possible to create apps that give teachers the ability to construct AR and VR application for educational purpose from building blocks using accessible toolkits and templates. I would say that as a side project, it might be also to push the wider adoption of the VR and AR technologies amongst people. Please understand, when you see the statistics of virtual reality in education, our ecosystem says that 97% of the students would like to study a VR course. Then you would, it can also be summated that education is expected to be the fourth biggest for VR investment. That is from the business point of view. And 7 out of 10 teachers want to use VR to simulate experiences that are relevant to the material covered in the class. Whereas 93% of teachers say that the students would be excited to use virtual reality. So don't you feel that we all need to jump into this paradigm of augmented reality and virtual reality? See, we can now, what we would do, since we really love using things which are free, just this four-lettered word FRE. Let's see some of the free augmented reality software, which straight away you can get your hands on and start working. Some of the free augmented reality software which I have encountered in the industry are Form Tools, DCAN, DKAN, then you got CCAN, CKAN, you got even GADS, GADS. On the other hand, there are some free virtual reality softwares like Google Cardboard. You got Netflix free virtual reality app. Then you got Discovery virtual reality app. This, and there are many other things which are in our industry, which you, if at all you want to jump into this. And even see, programming this is something like, something I won't say exactly like it, something like you doing a 3D programming, you're creating some 3D objects. It involves skill. It involves skill and definitely a flair of it. So before we go ahead, I would request each one of you or anybody who's interested, please get hands-on. Get hands-on with this. Get into development of AR VR software for your very own college at Madhya Pradesh. It would definitely, apart from you, it would even benefit your college, your place where you exactly you guys are studying. Let's go ahead with what is that, a little bit more of understanding of this augmented reality and virtual reality. See, friends, when you picture technology of the future, can you tell me what are the first thing that comes to your mind? In 10 years, how will technology be affecting your life differently than it does today? I would say some people may picture, say, self-driving cars that at a word automatically whisk them off to their desired destination. Others, no doubt, envision an artificial intelligence utopia in which robots perform the menial labor tasks humans had to do in the past, freeing people up to tackle life's tougher problems. Finally, many people may foresee a future where they are able to create their own realities. They could be sitting on a couch at home, but put on a headset and feel as if they are at a soccer stadium thousands of miles away. They could put on a pair of high-tech glasses and have a fully realized holographic avatar of a friend appear to chat with them. They may even picture an entire room that could step into and dial up an environmental simulation as if they were actually there. An average person may not have had a chance to experience this just yet, but nearly everyone can envision virtual reality and augmented reality as part of humanity's future. And with good reasons. For years, entertainment such as movie, TV show, and books have been selling us on the promise of VR, the VR oasis of Ready Player One, the VR real world simulation of the Matrix, the full world environmental recreation of the holodeck from Star Trek. All types of entertainment have their takes on what has up till very recently been the stuff of magic and imagination. The ideas of virtual reality and augmented reality themselves, I would say, seem outlandish. Within the comfort of my own home, I can put on a headset and be anywhere in the world, experience any kind of a thing, be even in the space, be anyone, attend live concerts or sporting events as if I were there, fly across the sea and explore other countries, travel through entire solar system in minutes, jumping from planet to planet. These are the kinds of VR and AR that the public has long been promised, but until recently, the promise has fallen short of reality. Within, I would say, the past few years, however, computing and manufacturing technologies have begun to catch up with the promises of VR and AR. What was once the purview of science fiction has been brought to life. Science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke once claimed regarding the wonders of new technology, any sufficient advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. If you were to travel back in time and show an iPhone to a medieval peasant, he would think you were a wizard with a magical picture box. And today, friends, many first time users of high end consumer VR headsets often describe the experience as nothing less than magical. Within the next decade, we can expect massive changes in how we work, how we are entertained, and how we communicate, all due to VR and AR. These technologies will fundamentally change where we are headed as a society. But in order to do so, they need creators, you need dreamers, innovators, and magic makers to help them reach their potential. Friends, before you dive into all the details of VR and AR, you need a basic overview of these technologies. What we will do, although this time is limited, we will try to delve into some different types of VR and AR and provide you some basic vocabulary for differentiating, and so that you are abreast with this kind of a technology. So what we will do, we will introduce this concept of VR and AR in some slightly better way. I would say that virtual reality is often used as an umbrella term for all manner of immersive experiences, including many related terms such as augmented reality, mixed reality, extended reality. What we will do, when I refer to virtual reality, I generally mean I would say an immersive computer simulated reality that creates a physical environment that does not exist. Virtual reality environments are typically closed off from the physical world in the sense that the environments they create are wholly new. Although the digital environments could be based on real places, such as maybe the top of Mount Everest, or imagined ones, such as maybe the underwater city of Atlantis, they exist apart from current physical reality. So when you get into this, say you can very comfortably wear a VR headset and you can feel that you are say 80 feet underwater, hundreds of feet underwater, swimming with the whale, with the shark over there. Augmented reality, friends, is a way of viewing the real world, either directly or via a device such as maybe a camera creating a visual of the real world and augmenting the real world visual with computer generated input such as a still graphics, audio, or videos. AR is different from VR in that AR augments a real world or existing scene instead of creating something new from scratch. By very strict definition, in AR, very strict definition, when you try to drop in AR, the computer generated content is an overlay on top of real world content. The two environments have no way of communicating with or responding to one another. However, AR's definition has been somewhat co-opted in recent years to include a more blended hybrid called mixed reality, in which interaction can occur between the real world and digitally augmented content. Now, please understand, all throughout our discussion, whenever I refer to augmented reality, I use it as a blanket term that includes even mixed reality. The two terms, that is this augmented reality and mixed reality, are we will use it synonymously within the, and this is used even synonymously within the industry, with mixed reality rapidly gaining favor as the more descriptive term for the combination of analog and digital realities. So going ahead with what we were seeing, like we had mentioned some time back on this concept of mixed reality. So what we will do, we will take a small little jump into this concept of mixed reality so that we are abreast or we are clear as we go ahead with our discussion. See, mixed reality may take your view of the real world and integrate computer generated content that can interact with the view of the real world. Or you can say it may take a fully digital environment and connect it to real world objects. In this way, mixed reality can sometimes function similar to VR, virtual reality, and sometimes function similar to augmented reality. In augmented reality based mixed reality, the content of the digital world is no longer passively laid on the top of the real world. Instead, it can act as if it were a part of the real world. Digital objects appear as if they existed in the physical space, and you can even interact with some digital objects as if they were actually there. For example, you might be able to drop a digital rocket onto your coffee table and watch it blast off, or bounce a digital soccer ball off the real world walls and floors. So this is this concept of mixed reality. See, there are some terms which are used by Apple and Google. Apple calls it AR kit and Google calls it AR core. While described, all these are described as AR, augmented reality. Actually, this is something that straddles the line between AR and MR. MR is mixed reality. And reveal the naming discrepancy occurring within the industry. Although these guys, Apple and Google, project a digital layer on top of the physical world, they are also able to scan the environment and track surfaces within the real world. This enables users to place digital objects into the real world, cast digital shadows on real world item, affect digital lighting according to the real world's lighting condition, and so on. All things that lean towards the definition of MR. See, there is another example like the pic which you see on the screen of the current AR based MR headset is this Microsoft HoloLens. This what you see on the screen is Microsoft HoloLens, which is a headset that scans the physical environment to mix in digital objects. This technology, which is also found in Microsoft's Meta 2, takes things a step further than the current tablet-based offering from Apple and Google. It projects the digital environment into translucent visors and enables your hands to interact with those digital objects as if they were physically there. In other instances, you may only see a complete digital environment with no view of the real world, but that digital environment is connected to the real world objects around you. In your virtual world, real world tables or chairs may digitally appear as rocks or trees. Real world office walls may appear as, say, you can say moss covered cave wall. This is virtual reality based mixed reality. Sometimes is also called as augmented reality. See, following all these strict terminology and definitions which we have seen, augmented reality provides no interaction with the augmented digital world, whereas mixed reality does allow such interaction. However, these strict definitions are becoming blended in the industry. Often mixed reality and augmented reality are used as synonyms within the industry. Their meaning over time will, I would say, would likely grow and change. So what we will do, we will synonymously use the terms of augmented reality and mixed reality unless otherwise there is some particular problem which we would be facing. We would see now on this concept of augmented reality. Going ahead, the next what we need to see which falls in line is the concept of augmented reality. See, this is a term that has yet to gain much traction within the industry. That is this augmented virtuality, which is AV. This is a term, once again, I would say, which is yet to gain much importance or traction in the industry, which is augmented virtuality. And this is sometimes referred to as merged reality. This is nothing but essentially the inverse of typical augmented reality. Whereas augmented reality refers to predominantly real world environments that have been augmented with digital objects. Augmented virtuality. Augmented virtuality refers to predominantly digital environments in which there is some integration of real world objects. Some examples of augmented virtuality include streaming video from the physical environment and placing that video within the virtual space, or creating a 3D digital representation of an existing physical object. This pic which you see in front of you shows an example screenshot of augmented virtuality through Intel's recently defunct Project Alloy. Using 3D cameras, Intel was able to bring in interactive imagery of physical real world objects into its virtual environments. This once again is an example from this defunct Project Alloy of Intel. Going ahead with our session, the next what you guys need to understand, or which would see you in good light, if at all any of you, which I would say almost all of you should get into this concept of designing AR VR system, at least for your college. The next term is what is extended reality. Extended reality otherwise is written in words as XR. This is an umbrella term for the entire spectrum of technologies which we have discussed till now, which can be virtual reality, which will include virtual reality, augmented reality, and augmented virtuality. The virtuality continuum is a scale used to measure the technology's amount of realness or virtualness. On one end of the scale is the complete virtual, and on the other end is the complete real. This extended reality spans the full spectrum of this scale from end to end. There are so many examples of this and so many big people who have spoken really great on this. One good saying is by a gentleman called Paul Milgram. He says there is a reality virtuality continuum, which he says starts from real environment, goes to augmented reality, then it goes to augmented virtuality, and then finally it goes to the virtual environment. So what we will do, we will focus on two terms, that is virtual reality and augmented reality, and the technological areas that they cover. These two terms encompass most of the scenarios in the world as on today. We will use virtual reality to refer to any hardware software combination that creates a mostly or entirely digital experience. We will also use augmented reality to refer to any real or physical environment to which digital elements have been added. So this is how we plan to go ahead with our session, which I would be having with you guys today. Now, what we will do, we will see some of the augmented reality use cases. Like what we had mentioned when we started off this session on augmented reality, if you can pull up your memory, is we had told this Pokemon game, which is a good example of augmented reality. Or see, I would say that when you say on this concept of augmented reality, there are many consumers who were first introduced to augmented reality via this Pokemon Go game, which was somewhere around in 2016. This game provided users a rudimentary augmented reality experience where a Pokemon could appear to inhabit your environment via a 3D overlay of your mobile device's video feed. Augmented reality technology has been around for longer than that, though with many users in industrial fields such as manufacturing and maintenance. And although consumers' introduction to augmented reality may have been via a game, augmented reality has often been regarded as a technology consumers of the future will utilize to get work done, whereas its relative VR will be used mainly for entertainment. Manufacturers such as Microsoft and Meta have thus far seemed to target their headset more towards the idea of getting work done. The more open nature of this augmented reality seemingly lends itself better to collaborative environment where you work alongside co-workers, whereas virtual reality experiences have been more or less solitary. And because of virtual reality's closed off nature, implementing it in most workplace would require a total sea change for the way work is currently accomplished, including developing entirely new system of hardware and software. But please do one thing, think about VR and AR only in terms of these strict silos, is which will make your understanding very, very simplistic. VR has number of use cases for work and getting things done, and AR has just as many users in gaming and entertainment field. On a long enough timeline, both these AR VR will likely see a convergence of work and play. I would say that all of you just need to remember one thumb rule of whatever I have told on these apps or use cases of AR VR. Please try not to concentrate on specific AR application being whichever you are focused upon. Instead, you allow each usage of AR to be a springboard for your own ideas on what an AR app could be. In fact, because AR is still such a young technology, the application being discussed may not even be the optimal use case or form factor. You please do one thing, try to review each application critically and ask yourself, what is it that makes this experience unique? Could the app be better executed in a different form factor? What does this execution of AR mean for future of this technology? Please ask these questions for yourself, and you would be definitely, you would get an answer which would really be surprising and good to you. We take one good example of this AR, what we have taken, which is Facebook Building 20. See, while walking in the Facebook's Frank Gehry's design Building 20, you may come across any number of people starting through their cameras at what appears to be nothing more than a large white wall. To the naked eye, there is nothing there. However, equipped with the Facebook's camera app, users are treated to an installation created for entirely new medium of AR based art. Heather Day is the artist responsible for the installation, and Miss Day is an artist living and working in California. Her physical work is featured at a number of high profile tech companies, from you can say Dropbox to Airbnb. She primarily works with paint and other non-traditional materials to create absurd murals. Facebook, what they did, they approached Miss Day about collaborating for the project based on a previous artwork. While Miss Day utilized her normal painting techniques, Facebook video crew recorded her entire process. They were able to create a digital library of her animated painting techniques combined with a 3D model of the space. Facebook and Miss Day worked together to map out how the animated marks could interact and animate within the environment via AR. You can in fact view the final installation of this at Facebook's headquarters in California. In reference to Miss Day's installation, due to the nature of the piece's interaction with the surrounding, Zuckerberg proclaimed it's something that would be impossible to build in reality. One thing is a funny side effect of that, it is at Facebook. We have people gathering around looking for blank walls. This is going to be a thing really, really in the future. Which you see a pic on the screen. This displays a screen capture of what a user sees when viewing Miss Day's mural in augmented reality. This is Miss Day's work, which you see on the screen right in front of you. Now, there are some other use cases like Jeff Koons and Snapchat. Snapchat is something that followed a similar approach to Facebook in creating augmented reality art, which was targeted at a more public audience. See, for a few weeks in the fall of 2017, Snapchat teamed up with artist Jeff Koons to create an augmented reality Snapchat world lens based on Kuhn's artwork. Users of the popular Snapchat app in one of a number of cities, which included even Chicago, New York, Paris, London, could unlock some of Kuhn's most famous work to display in AR. To view the installation, a user had to be, say, around 300 meters of the location where the piece was being displayed, with the Snapchat application opened on her mobile device. If a user were close enough to look at one of the art pieces, an indicator would guide her to the place to look, at which point the artwork would be displayed in the environment as maybe a 3D world lens on the user's phone. So these are some good examples that you need to bear it in mind. But please understand, the 3D world lens in Snapchat are nothing but AR filters that are applied to the environment around you when you use this Snapchat app. Users typically use these AR filters, augmented reality filters, to put simple holograms in their environment, like a dancing hot dog or Bitmoji. Brands such as Bud Light and Warner Bros. Have also experience with creating their own sponsored lenses and enabling users to add a virtual beer vendor or futuristic vehicle to their environment. What you see on the screen here, it depicts exploring the AR artwork in the real world and how it appears to the AR on their mobile devices. This is Jeff Koons Snapchat installation promo. Please understand, friend, in an interesting turn of events, there was a backlash by those in community who felt that this was just an instance of a corporation being allowed to push themselves into public space. The artist and designer by the name of Sebastian went so far as to mock up a digitally vandalized version of Koons Snapchat artwork. We are moving very, very quickly to the augmented reality life. For a company to have freedom to GPS tag whatever they want is an enormous luxury we should not be giving out for free. The virtual public space belongs to us, and it has been told that we should be able to charge these companies rent, and we should be able to approve what can and what cannot be geotagged in our public and private digital spaces. Please understand, friends, these are some of the very important things that is very, very much required as on today. The public space may only be affected digitally, but it does bring up some interesting questions about the nature of AR and how public spaces should be treated in new world. This may seem to have a simple solution for now. You may not like it, turn off the app. However, in the future, things may not be so simple. In a decade's time, it is possible that while you wear your AR glasses, you'll be inundated with digital advertising scattered throughout the public space. So this is what is in store for you as on today. Then there is the other thing, which is Google Expedition. Please understand. Yeah, somebody has some doubt. Somebody has, I think, wants to ask me something. Anybody wants to ask me something? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, actually में थोड़ा voice बार-बार आ जा रही है, lag
ये
हो रही है.
कहीं आपके सिस्टम में तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है हनु?
सर वही मैं भी पूछना चाह रहा था, अगर
आप पूछ लो बाकी लोगों से, आपके उनके आप अभी पूछ लो आप बाकी लोगों से.
Everything is fine here.
Yeah, it's fine. Kunal says everything is fine. Don't worry. आपके सिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम.
The voice is audible.
Yeah, don't worry. That's fine. तो आपके सिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम है, आपके स्पीकर में, माइक में कहीं तो प्रॉब्लम है. The other example, हमारा use case, what we will be taking is on this Google Expedition. See, you must be very well aware that Google Expedition is an immersive education platform which was released somewhere in 2015 as a way for Google to deliver low-cost virtual field trips for classroom. Google Expedition already has a virtual reality component powered by Google Cardboard. Expeditions, this augmented reality look to expand Google Expedition virtual reality into the augmented reality world via smartphone powered AR experience. Expedition augmented reality maps the physical classroom and uses that digital mapping to place 3D holograms around the environment. Students are given supported medical devices and they can walk around the digital holograms, exploring them up close and looking at details, or maybe even stepping away to get an overarching view of the hologram. The teachers leading the expedition can walk the students through what to look for within each digital hologram, or allow the students to explore at their own leisure. Where expeditions shines is when it enables children to explore in new ways they won't otherwise be able to. Not every student learns the same way, and letting students walk around and explore a volcano or a DNA strand at their own pace is far different from lecturing them on the subject or even showing them a video. Expedition AR hopes to help trigger those engaging moments for students. The pic that you see on the screen is a pic of where students explore a volcano via augmented reality and Google Expedition. Please understand, friend, augmented reality in the classroom may not be totally ready for prime time. It can still be a costly proposition for schools to have the necessary hardware available for each student. However, computers in the classroom were once, you would remember, a very, very rare sight. Nowadays, it's a requirement for many students past a certain grade level to have a computer, a personal computer or a tablet. Many students have their own mobile devices as well. Now, as the headset prices come down, it's possible that, like classrooms, augmented reality hardware could quickly become a common in all the classroom that student may not be able to recall a time just without it. The other thing what you need to see is where we will apply this concept of augmented reality. Another very, very valid place or very, very important place as on today is in the healthcare segment. So when you have this in the healthcare education, that is similar to VR, virtual reality, augmented reality will likely see inroads into the healthcare industry on a number of fronts, both maybe say from a student or education standpoint and usage directly in the operating theater. Almost all doctors have gone through the rigors of dissecting a cadaver. Anatomy has been taught in the same way for hundreds of years without an update. Dissection labs help medical students understand the human body and how its systems work together. There is often very little substitute for the hands-on experience students can gain in these labs. However, labs often suffer from a number of issues. They can be expensive for universities to keep up, and every student may not get the same hands-on experience due to a limited number of cadavers. So this is one problem which or advantage of usage of AR in the healthcare industry. We will also see how is that this concept can be applied to industry and commerce. Friends, please understand, industrial applications are one of the areas in which I would say AR has made the biggest headway. The cost of enterprise level headsets has been prohibitive for most consumers, and it isn't a large barrier for modern manufacturing. On an industrial scale, anything that saves even a little time, be it maybe an engine built on per smartphone produced, can work out to huge savings overall. Big companies such as Boeing, General Electric, Volvo, all have experimented with augmented reality on their assembly line or factory floors to determine where these technologies could be utilized to save time and money. Good example where it is currently put in use is this elevator industry, ThyssenKrupp. They have used this technology in a wonderful way, which has benefited them to a very, very, very large extent. on what is that which needs to be done, and how is it that they have leveraged on this technology so that it benefits them at their workplace. So what we will do, we will let's go ahead and see another some good use cases, which is another one very good use case is the New York Times Winter Olympic augmented reality. See, for this 2018 Winter Olympics at South Korea, the New York Times rolled out an augmented reality campaign featuring athletes from 4 different sports. You had figure skater Nathan Shen, speed skater J.R. Selski, hockey goalie, that is Alex Rigsby, and snowboarder Anna Gasser. Using augmented reality within their standard New York Times application for iOS, the New York Times Winter Olympic augmented reality campaign and now enabled you to place a digital hologram of any one of the 4 Olympians in 3D space in your home and explore these holograms by walking around them, getting up close and personal, or backing far up to capture the entire hologram. As you explored each of the hologram, more information rose to the surface. Like exploring figure skater Nathan Shen from the front may have given you information on how he generates spin, while stepping back and from behind him, you may have been given information and visuals on the distance his jump covers. Say, moving behind our goalie, Alex Rigsby, illustrates her point of view and the speed of the shot she faces. And from the front, you could see how her pad covers as much of the goal as possible. These are some of the wonderful examples what you can see in this concept of VR use cases. Now, what we will do, this pic which you see on the screen, it shows the New York Times coverage of 2018 Winter Olympics using AR kit on an iPhone. Users could explore 3D representation of Olympians just sitting at their house. You really didn't have to go anywhere. Another wonderful example is this Kinect Sandbox. This is a wonderful or beauty of an example of augmented reality that exists outside of typical augmented reality experiences constrained to headsets or mobile devices. The Kinect Sandbox consists of a standard sandbox similar to sandboxes you may find in any regular play field. However, this sandbox utilizes 3D vision, which is provided by Microsoft Kinect or similar devices to create a topographical view of the structure a user would create. It then uses this information to digitally project a map back onto the sand consisting of snow-capped mountains, rivers, and lakes, and everything in between this. The Kinect Sandbox idea is actually not new. I would say that in technology terms, it's a fairly old execution of augmented reality. One of the first instances of a Kinect powered sandbox can be found as far as back in, say, 2011, when students, say, Peter Altman and Robert Eckstein created what they dubbed the Sandy Station. This picture which you see on the screen displays a user building at various stages using the Sandy Station. As the user creates different shapes in the sand, that is trenches and hills, the Sandy Station detects these changes and projects different visuals onto the scene depending on the topography changes to the sandbox. The Sandy Station consists of some special software written by the gentleman Altman and Eckstein, a Kinect, a projector, and a box of sand. The Kinect detects changes to the sand's height and depth. And now when we go ahead, please understand, let's now, after seeing this, there are many use cases where you can use augmented reality and virtual reality. Please understand, it is basically like opening a Pandora's box where we can go on speaking for days and days and days to come. Let's see on some very few impacts of augmented reality on the society. Please understand, friends, augmented reality has a very strong impact on the society. The marketing and advertisement fields will explode with augmented reality devices. The mobile applications that are being developed will offer facial recognition software that will mainstream very, very quickly. These are some of the major impacts of augmented reality on the society. Let's do one thing. Let's see on the impact of virtual reality on the society, because we have just seen the impact of augmented reality. Let's see how will virtual reality have an effect on the society. Friends, that's enough about the theory that is projecting us into the future. What sector is virtual reality actually being used in today? They are medicine, culture, education, and architecture are some wonderful areas that have already taken advantage of this technology. From, say, guided museum visits to the dissection of muscle, virtual reality allows us to cross boundaries that would otherwise be just unimaginable. With whatever have been we have shared till now, we have seen a brief insight into this concept of augmented reality, virtual reality, seen some free softwares what are available. The only way, I would say the best way and the easiest way you get a hang of this is start creating some applications, maybe simple little application using the free software which I initially mentioned. Do that, and definitely you will get a good hang of this. With this, I come to the end of this presentation. Has anybody got any kind of a doubt to ask me? You can please ask me. Otherwise, you can reach out to me at 944-935-7416, which is my personal mobile number. I could connect up with you on any front, whichever you feel comfortable, so that our aim is, it's not with the aim of doing some business with your institute. It's with the aim that the education system grows in the right way. Students are really benefited. Thank you, and I've come to the end of the session. Has anybody got anything to ask me? Please feel free. You can ask me whatever comes to your mind. Sumit.
Sir?
Yeah, tell me, Somil Agarwal.
Yes, sir, I want to ask that 3D printing is now, 3D printing technology is also growing.
Yes, very,
So
very fast.
It is also based on virtual reality and augmented reality.
Yes, that is also, that's very correct. It's a new technology which has, see the speed at which 3D printing, you can create buildings using, you can create a human organ using 3D printing. You totally immerse. See, there is a new concept which has entered the world called immersive technology, where you immerse yourself in that, which is a combination of AR and VR. You are immersed in the technology. You are able to do anything which otherwise physically would be impossible for you to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody other than Somil Agarwal wants to ask anything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, over the time, as we are more and more indulging in the technology, so it is obvious that it definitely have some effects on our health. So if we bring AR and VR in our daily life, so it may affect our eye health. So my question is, what is the preparation do we have to avoid these health consequences?
See, friend, sorry. Yeah, continue.
Because, sir, at the last, what matters most is the life and health.
Okay. But see, understand one thing, with this explosion of technology, I hope you are aware, by December 2020, there is going to be 15 to 20% of jobs are going to vanish from the market. Vanish from the market does not mean that there will be no more jobs and no more people are required. No, it is required. But if you are specialized, vertically specialized, your carry home salary increases 8 to 10 times. And this is another wonderful field. Please do one thing. See, there is, please browse through the net and see on the emerging technologies. This is yet another emerging technology which you need to definitely reach out to. Although this is not the top of the emerging technology, fine, but it is one among the first 10 emerging technologies which you really need to know. Because see, what you are doing, you're going to eat up the job of a lot of people. See, the quest, every kind of a technology definitely has a side effect. See, you cannot be a Gandhian and sit at your house and say technology is going to harm me, I'm not going to do anything. You're doing a big blunder. You have to march with technology. Friend, that is the need of the hour. You have to do with technology. You have to run with technology, because without technology, how can you survive in the world today? Yeah, Harshit, you wanted to ask something. Harshit Gupta. Harshit, do you want to ask something? Okay, since nobody has got anything, will Alka Sachdeva ma'am want to sum up the session today, or we stop?
Sir? Hello?
Yeah, please tell me.
So how can we build a feature in the AR and VR?
See, you have to, see, have you used any of the 3D modeling softwares?
No, sir. I'm new in this technology.
Yeah, you have to start off with any of the 3D modeling softwares, say the 3D Max, any of the 3D modeling. So from there, you will be able to jump into the, see, beginning of the presentation, I told you a lot of these free tools. Try exploring any of the free tool. Definitely free tools have got some limitation as compared to the paid tools which are there in the market. Start off with the free tools, develop some wonderful apps, prove it that you can do it. Definitely you will be handpicked by the community outside. And you, for doing or for starting off your business in this, or being an entrepreneur in this, you don't need any investment. You are the only person who, you just need a computer in front of you. Start working on this. Use these free tools, an internet connection, a decent internet connection, and you can do well. Okay, anybody else? We are short of time because I've got another session lined up for me. There are a lot of people, other people waiting. I need to be with them. Will Alka Sachdeva ma'am want to sum up this session, or we stop it?
Yes, sir. We can sum up the session. I would like to thank you for your valuable time, sir. Yeah. And further, definitely all the students will be getting certification online mode. And thank you so much for all of you for your participation. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We can wind up the session. Yeah.